Coming up, we look at how local businesses tried to attract some of your Weber State students to various jobs.
They may be students, but that doesn't mean they can't be leaders. What did Weber State students learn at a leadership conference?
Your Wildcats are in the midst of one of their best football seasons ever. Now ranked 4th in the FCS rankings, they take on Idaho State this Saturday.
Weber State held a Government and Natural Resources job fair on November 7th, and a former student returned to advertise his business. Richard Smith, a Weber State graduate, now works as a program manager for the Workforce Development Office at Hill Air Force Base. He joined several other government agencies in the hopes of attracting students and faculty
here
on
looking
campus.
for candidates to join our Pathway Internship Program. I'm a Weber State graduate myself. I got my foot in the door working for the Air Force as a student. Pat Wheeler, the career advisor in the Goddard School of Business, she's the one that basically notified me of the opportunity to work for the government. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I'm very grateful to her and for the opportunity I had to get my foot in the door as an intern with the Air Force.
Smith offered career advice to individuals from old to young and shared memories of a time as a Weber State student.
Veterans Day began to honor the sacrifice active military personnel went through during World War I. Now, it's a holiday dedicated to all who previously and currently serve in the armed forces and the people that support them. The Weber State Veteran Services commemorated WSU veterans and their families with a casual luncheon this past November 10th. These soldiers devote themselves to their country's national safety so that their fellow civilians can partake in everyday activities such as schooling.
Our freedoms are only due to those who have gone out and served for us. That's why we are able to sit in class and have that opportunity for your education in a free society.
Giving helpful information regarding GI Bills and educational military benefits, WSU's Veteran Services provide a beneficial education for these students year-round. If you have a veteran in your family or is someone who you know personally and is looking to enroll in school and take advantage of their GI Bill, tell them to visit weber.edu/veterans for more detailed information.
Over the weekend, one Weber State fraternity decided to do what they love and raise money for charity. From the morning of November 3rd into the 4th, the Sci-Fi Sci fraternity held a 24-hour video game-a-thon in the Esports Lounge in University Village. The game-a-thon was an effort to raise money for charity while doing what they enjoy and spending time with friends.
I didn't think nearly as many people would come, and it's been good. I like seeing all the people coming and playing games, and it's a good cause.
While this was not the first marathon gaming session the fraternity has done for charity, it was the first one with the esports team. The esports team practices in the lounge every Thursday night from 8 until 10.
Watt Misaka, a Weber State basketball alumni, retired Knicks basketball player, and the first non-white player in the history of the Basketball Association of America, visited Weber State for the screening of Transcending, the Watt Misaka story.
Before the screening, a luncheon was held for students and fans to gather and chat with Watt Misaka himself.
I wanted to come to this event for myself because Watt Misaka, he is a Japanese American and was a student here at Weber State University years ago, and I think it's important for me to learn about what it's like being Asian American and also support the Asian American community.
After the screening, audience members had the opportunity to ask filmmakers Christine Choi Johnson and Bruce Johnson questions about the making of the film and the importance of highlighting Watt Misaka.
We saw a picture of Watt because he had thought to us too. I think that was a perception. I think it still is a perception for some people, where the conversation about race in this country has often been just a black and white conversation. And so, yeah, that's our explanation for it. Been honored by the JCCC and see a lot of C's in there. You can tell he's it's from an era of probably the 40s because of the outfit. And why don't we know about him? And Paul, that story is not known widely enough. And we want to make sure it is.
Of course, Watt's reply was, well, it's no big deal. Nobody outside of the state of Utah really cares, but if you want to come talk to us, you can.
He's still one of our dearest heroes. Thank you, Watt, for being here.
It was a privilege to have a past WSU student, history-making individual, and role model walking the grounds of Weber State.
Last week, Weber State students learned how to become leaders at the annual Leadership Conference. It was a 2-day-long event filled with workshops, key speakers, food, and drinks, all in the name of volunteering with Weber State community partners in the community for opportunities to learn about leadership.
So what tonight we're doing is we're doing 4 different service projects. My service project is the Home Fire Safety Campaign. And what we'll be doing is we will be installing fire alarms in people's houses next week for free. And so tonight we're just putting together the packets that we'll use. And we're also writing cards for Veterans Day next week.
For the Home Fire Safety Campaign, students will be trained how to install fire alarms during the event with Weber State community partner America Red Cross. The packets students will use include instructions on how to respond during earthquakes, areas to install fire alarms, and the ability to identify 2 areas of exit throughout the house during a fire.
Fire campaign. What it is we go around to communities and install free smoke alarms for families at risk. So it's a pretty cool program. We also provide free home fire safety information, so that way people can be prepared if anything does happen. Because home fires are actually the #1 emergency that they're in this space.
Well, isn't that nice? I'm sure they'd appreciate a free new smoke alarm.
Yeah, I just changed the battery in mine a week ago because it kept chirping at 2:30 in the morning. It's obnoxious. When is a library not a library? When it's also a bookstore. The Friends of the Stewart Library annual book sale kicked off on November 1st. Ed Hahn, who oversees the collection of print and electronic resources in the library, said most of the books for sale come from the generous donations of community members. Occasionally, a donation just doesn't fit.
If we're not able to add the books to the collection, either we already have the books in the collection or we just don't see them as being appropriate for our collection, then they will go into our book sale.
Hardback books typically go for as little as $2 and paperbacks as little as $1. CDs and DVDs are also available for purchase. Among other things, Hahn is responsible for organizing the book sale every year and deciding which books will be available for purchase. Hahn said the money raised from the sale goes right back into supporting WSU's library. I think it may be time to add a few books to my collection. I haven't read a good book in a while.
Neither have I. The Weber State Physics Department held its annual open house Friday for scientific family fun.
So this is Physics Open House, and this is our 12th year running, and basically it's a Friday night where we open up the building. We do physics that's accessible to everyone, families, general public, free, and it ranges from demo shows like what we've got back here, where people are sitting and watching us do dumb things, dangerous things sometimes.
Johnston also mentioned how important it is to include the public in university events like this, as physics can be enjoyed by everyone. For future events, including fun and science, check the physics department's website as well as Facebook.
A local resident of Ogden has taken it upon himself over the last 9 years to build one of the most impressively decorated yards for Halloween. Mount Ogden Manor is located in South Ogden and was put together by Joe Marquez. He said it started with store-bought tombstones and only included the front of the house, but has now grown to where it envelops the entire yard, and he even built some of his own decorations.
We only had the front corner to corner of the front of the house, and that was it. And it wasn't until I started building my own props that things really sped up and got bigger, because I wanted things that when you walk up to a house for Halloween, you're not looking down at a little prop. I want you to be looking up. I want you to feel smaller than it. I want you to feel like you're walking into it. So as I started building this, I wanted it, it has to be fenced off, of course, to protect the props, but I wanted you to feel like you're part of it and inside of it somewhat. When you see these kids out here, when you see the little ones and they're looking up and they're either laughing, they're scared, they're holding onto their parent's leg, they're getting the candy, the popcorn, they're getting that big smile, that's why I keep doing it.
The last chance to visit Mount Ogden Manor was on Sunday, so if you missed your chance, Marquez said he plans on making this bigger and better next year. To learn more, you can visit the Mount Ogden Manor Facebook page. Well, I know basically nothing about football, but even I know that Weber State is kicking some serious tail this year. Joffrey, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, definitely. Actually, the Weber State football team is ranked number 4 in the FCS rankings after their win against Sacramento State and Southern Utah. The Wildcats have gone undefeated this year at home for the first time since 1997. The team was carried by the defense as they held the Hornets to just 170 yards on the game. The Cats' defense stood strong, holding Sacramento State to just 1 for 12 on third downs, just 3 yards per play and 2.1 yards per rush.
Another good win. A lot of cool things that happened in this victory. Undefeated at home during the regular season is a big deal. It's only happened 3 times in school history, so that was huge for us. We just had 3 7-win seasons in a row. That's another deal that's never happened before. And the seniors are going out as one of the winningest senior groups ever, if not the most winning group in the
Coach Hill also mentioned how the team is looking forward to the playoffs, but not overlooking the end of the regular season. The Cats took down SUU on Saturday, 31-18, for their 5th straight win. They will end the season this Saturday at Idaho State. The Lady Wildcats basketball team underwent significant change this offseason due to the departure of longtime coach Beth Ann Ord. The new leader is trying to continue to steer the program in the right direction.
New Wildcats head coach Valeda Harris got off to a victorious start as her team defeated College of Idaho in an exhibition.
It's always good to get a W, you know what I mean? But then my mind immediately goes to what we need to work on, you know. But it felt really, really good, and I was excited for the young ladies.
Senior guard Jamoni Welch Coleman sees herself being a leader for a young team this season.
My leadership role is going to be important to the team because we have 5 freshmen. I'm one of 2 seniors, so they definitely look forward to us leading the way.
Fellow senior guard Emily Drake said it was good to be back on the court. She is excited about what her coach brings to the table.
I really loved it. I like kind of the tempo we're doing and the intensity. Obviously, we need to pick up our intensity on defense, but she's really getting on us about that. And I just love her positivity on the sideline and just kind of the X's and O's and how she kind of guides us through the win.
For Harris, she appreciated the effort of her team in the exhibition.
You know, I've put a lot of things at them and on them, you know, and expectations that I have for them, and I think they're trying their best. We're very, very young, you know, but I think this group is getting along really, really well, and I think we'll get better as the season goes on.
Well, it's getting pretty chilly outside, which means wintertime is on the way. Our reporter Joffrey Pleasant spoke with some Weber State students to see who's ready for the snowy climate.
With the fall season coming to an end, students on the Weber State University campus are bracing for an eventful winter. I asked a couple of students who come from warmer climates like California and Hawaii how they feel about the snow coming in the next couple of weeks.
My psychology class is way too forward. I be slipping, it get cold, my hands cold, my feet wet, because the snow past my ankles. It's hard out here.
Mentally, I'm prepared for it. Physically, definitely not prepared for it. I ain't got no clothes right now, so I'm just gonna have to ride through it, man, and just tough it out, bro.
Despite having above average temperatures in the fall, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicted Utah to have above average precipitation for the start of the season. For some, that may be dreadful news, but many others are actually looking forward to engaging in winter activities.
Be out here walking in the snow, it's a different environment. Throwing snowballs is probably like the best part. Trying to go snowboarding. It's gonna be my 2nd time here in the snow, so I'm just looking forward to it right now.
We get cold in the O. This is different.
With temperatures predicted to reach a low of 22 degrees this week, I hope you're stocked up on hot chocolate and ready to bundle up. Reporting for the Weber State News, I'm Joffrey Pleasant.
Well, I know my wife's ready for the winter season. She just got new tires, but I cannot stand driving in the snow.
Tell you what, I'm excited to get up on Snow Basin and hit the ski slopes a little bit.
I should do that this year. I haven't in a while. Well, there you have it. Fingers crossed for a white Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm Cameron Gifford with Weber State News. We'll see you next time.